What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I am back with another video. Today, I'm reviewing Dirt 5, and I'm reviewing it for the Xbox Series X. Of course, it's available everywhere: Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and whatnot. But I've been playing it actually ever since the launch of the new consoles, and I've been playing it a lot more than I expected, and that's what really prompted this review. So hopefully you guys enjoy what I have to say. So, Dirt 5 is not the most popular racing franchise, at least not in my opinion, but it is the latest game, and it had all the attention as it was the launch game with these next-gen consoles, especially the Xbox. That's where it premiered, that's where we saw it first, and that's where one of the first gameplay videos we saw. So it had a lot of people talking and looking at this title. Now this time around, Dirt 5 is more arcadey than its previous games, and it has drawn more inspiration from games like Onrush and MotorStorm, which is not too surprising when you consider the team of Dirt 5, they were actually responsible for those games. Dirt 5 comes packed with the career mode, arcade mode, playground, and online multiplayer. Career mode is a bit more arcade-like, putting the player in multiple races and mini tournaments to earn cash and ranking points until you unlock the next set of races. Yeah, it's nothing new. However, the voiceover narration by Troy Baker and Nolan North does add a little bit of extra charm to the career mode, I must say. And of course, I like a good soundtrack. Dirt 5 has an awesome soundtrack. Actually, if you're doing a racing game, you have to have a passable soundtrack, and Dirt 5 exceeds and excels in its music choices for this game. Now, just a little bit more about some of these modes. Obviously, we all know what career mode is. Arcade mode, obviously, that's sort of like just play until you get bored, right? Playgrounds, however, it's a little bit, it's different. It allows players to create their own tracks and add challenges, or actually allows players to access other user generated content. It's a cool mode. I see creators being able to do amazing stuff with this mode, like create their own challenges, their own obstacle courses, and kind of have you doing different situations that will have your car all over the place. I checked out a few tracks. I had fun with it. I'm not the artistic type. I'm not a creator in terms of like making things inside video games. You know, those Minecraft types, the Roblox types. If you're a creator, you have like a creative vision in video games where you like to create your own maps and your own courses and stuff like that. I think Trackmania did something like this as well. Dirt 5 has this mode, and this playground mode is just for that, and it's actually pretty dope, especially if you're into that. I like playing user-generated content. I don't mind doing that, but in terms of making my own content, I'll leave that for someone else. Now, as far as the gameplay go, man, as I mentioned earlier, Dirt 5 doesn't play like its predecessor. It feels more like 4 games in one. I think of immediately Onrush. Onrush was a sleeper hit for me a couple years ago, and Dirt 5, it feels like Onrush. It also takes inspiration from MotorStorm. You also got to think about this: the people that made this game were also behind the Drive Club, so they're flexing all over this game. I mean, it has its visual range is awesome. The gameplay is easy to pick up. It's not sim based. It's not like it's meant for anyone to pick up and start playing, and I do appreciate it because it was a easy pickup for me, and I just stuck with it. I found myself, trying it for like, let me play this for an hour, and I found myself, next thing I know, I'm like 16 plus hours in, and I'm just like pretty much wrapping up the career mode. Now, in terms of Dirt 5's visuals, and of course its gameplay, in terms of its the gameplay, it does feel accurate. I do appreciate the game's handling. I feel like the game handles well. But one thing I do appreciate about it, Dirt 5 has a lot of different things going on. Sometimes you're racing on like dirt, obviously, no pun intended. Sometimes you're racing on like muddy roads, icy roads, all different types of terrain, and you feel the difference. And all vehicles control difference depending on what you're driving on and what kind of vehicle you're using. And it feels just a bit accurate to me. Now, in terms of visuals, now As I mentioned, Dirt 5 is available on all platforms, and of course, with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 being the big boys in the house, the new guys in the house that's ready to show off these new graphical leaps, Dirt 5 does take advantage of a couple things that these new consoles are able to offer. If you're playing on a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, you're going to be offered 3 modes. Now, this is also impacted, depends on which display you're playing on, but it does offer 3 modes. Those modes include image quality mode, which targets 4K at 60 frames per second, but it's a dynamic 4K, a heavily dynamic 4K, where it ramps up assets to a higher level. The shadow quality is improved, the reflections are improved, everything is just kind of took up a notch, and it does cause for frame rate fluctuations, but not by much. You're not going to get a lock 60 here. You're going to be getting close, but I mean, it does maintain 60 for the most part, but there are going to be drops, and those drops occur usually when collision takes place. And because a Dirt 5 game, the way that you're racing in this game, collisions will happen, so you're going to experience those frame rates. Okay, the other mode that's offered is resolution mode, which targets a native 4K resolution, and it's still also targeting 60 frames per second, but those extra quality things that I was speaking of is toned down just a little bit. Shadow quality is down, and this helped the game keeps a consistent near lock 60 frames per second. And the other mode that everybody's talking about is the prioritized frame rate mode. Now, this one, if you have the proper display for it, a TV or a monitor that does 120 hertz, you'll get the option to play at 120 frames per second. Now, if you just do this mode, yes, you're going to get 120 frames per second, which is awesome for a game running on console, but the resolution drops significantly. We're looking at a dynamic resolution of 900p to 1440p. You may not care about that. I don't, because I'm not playing in this mode. I tried it out, I thought it was cool, but it's like, no, I prefer image quality. The visuals are just better, they're superb. You're not missing all the things that you're losing in the 120 hertz mode, and the frame rate is good enough where I don't feel like I'm missing out. And I'm playing on a VRR display, so the drops that do happen in image quality mode, I barely feel them or I don't see them. So I personally, if you're able to access all these options, I recommend image quality mode. It's the best visually, and you're still getting the 60 frames per second. But obviously it's getting a lot of talk because of the comparison between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. The developers of Dirt 5 did say they will be employing a patch to improve the visuals of the Xbox Series X version and its 120 hertz modes, because it was obviously lacking. So, but that's kind of really all I have to say about that. In terms of the game overall, though, the most important thing about this game is gameplay. The game is fun. It handles very well. It's easy to pick up. It is a showpiece. I don't think the game shows well on YouTube and Twitter. However, you put this on your bad boy on a nice TV and the house, let the HDR work, and you're getting a good look at those visuals. I think you will be impressed. This is something you have to experience in person to really see. A lot of people are shading this game, they're sleeping on this game, but you to appreciate its visuals, it's very, very underrated. To appreciate its visuals, you kind of have to see it on your own personal display and can play and see how it feels in your hands, and look at how everything occurs, the way that the dirt hits the ground, the tessellation, the textures, the terrain. It's just things that I appreciate about this game. It's just unbelievable. Like, for example, like I mentioned before, I play in the image quality mode. It's where the visuals shine the best. The performance still holds 60. Dirt 5 doesn't look like a mobile game. We can kind of throw that, opinion out the window. I forgot who said that. The game does have visual range, whether it be day, night, icy roads, muddy conditions after severe rainfall. Everything looks accurate. Snow and dirt buildup on vehicle occur as they should, and reflections are on steroids. I mean, Dirt 5's screen space reflection solution literally challenges real-time ray trace reflections. Like this, like the reflections in the puddles and stuff is so good. I thought it was ray tracing for a moment, and they did a damn good job. And if games have to do that to save performance and not do ray tracing, I'd rather a great use of screen space reflections over ray tracing any day, if they can do it as well as Dirt 5 has done it. Visually, the game is outstanding, guys. You have to see it for yourself. The most important aspect about Dirt 5, though, it is its gameplay. It's a fun game. It's the perfect launch title to pair with the next gen console. It kind of offers a little bit of everything. It's a visual showpiece. It's easy to play, and anybody can play it. It's not too difficult, and it has an awesome soundtrack to kind of help you, give you that extra boost, those extra tunes while you're playing. I highly recommend Dirt 5. This is an easy 8 out of 10. If you have any other questions or thoughts in regards to Dirt 5 or questions for me, if you want to play with me, hit me up on Twitter or Xbox. KidSmooth is the gamer tag. KidSmooth is my Twitter handle. If you like this video, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Dirt 5, 8 out of 10. Highly recommend. As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best spot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.